ADA has risen over 18,000% in this cryptocurrency cycle alone. So why is it lagging so hard while NFTs and other crypto niches are exploding at this point in the market? We're going to look at 3 reasons why this may be the case and the possibility of ADA dropping out of the top 10 and whether this is going to affect our investments in ADA. So before we dive in, make sure you've subscribed, bell notification icon and all, and also like the video up down below. You can also stake your ADA with the Investor Accelerator staking pool. Link to that is down below with instructions. So you might be asking yourself, why would I be staking ADA if it could drop, if it's not doing well? And why the hell are you fudding ADA and throwing bearish sentiment at Cardano? Well, the point here is that I deliver a hopium-free side of Cardano. Now, a lot of people who are into Cardano are new investors, and we know for a fact that 26% of crypto holders in Australia hold some ADA. So that's like 1 in 4 people hold ADA. And a lot of people are new to investing. If you are new, let us know in the comments down below. Is this the first time you have ever thrown some money at investing? So the main thing here is that if you were investing in something, we're going to remove the emotions from it. We have to be able to be bullish and bearish, positive, negative against whatever it is we're holding, or at least remove those emotions to not be positive and negative. You have to just be neutral with it. So that's the main thing first. And then that allows us to then look at the negative side and the positive side of whatever it is that we're investing in. So in this case, we've got ADA 1.7 cents at the low in 2020 and the current top at around $3.16, depending on which exchange you're looking at. And of course, this is in USD. So the current state is sideways, and we've just broken down from that sideways period, which you could then call a distribution zone, meaning that the price had been going sideways, and seeing that we broke down, that means people were selling off ADA during this period. Now, we've seen this and we've talked about it on the channel before, and also on my brother's channel, Michael Pizzino, which you can find. I'll leave a link to that in the description down below as well, covering this in a lot of detail, and even on our free newsletter. Again, links to this are down below, looking at the strong versus the weak. So the strong is above the 50%, the weak is below the 50%, and you can see how well the market was holding up before it just broke underneath that. So this is all GAN analysis, and it's stuff that we have been covering for quite a long time. So it's pretty easy to see if you're tracking it day by day, and so that it doesn't scare you out of positions whenever you see these drops come, like we saw on the 27th of a 10.5% fall on ADA from around 214 down to the closing price of $1.91 before it dropped to $1.81 intraday. So what's going to come next? Well, I think we're probably going to see some more consolidation at these levels. Potentially, you could call it distribution. Maybe some people are still selling out, but our next zones are around that 150, which is where we saw previous resistance form. So hopefully we're going to get some support at those zones. You can see back in February top and March top. So this was a Coinbase listing news. This was smart contracts news, or a hard fork news, sorry. And then we had some more news coming up here in April before we got the May top, before we crashed again. So we had some more resistance at 150, and the market finally broke through 150. So should we get some support at 150? That's a good sign at this point. We want to see support at that level. If we break down past $1, I'm not saying we're going to go there, and I know I'm going to get comments from people saying you're a fool for even mentioning that. The point is, we need to be prepared for up, down, or sideways. If you only have one view, then maybe you're an investor and you're just looking at this 6, 12, 10 years down the line. You're not even interested in the short-term stuff, in which case this isn't the video for you. But if you're new to investing and you're unsure of what's going on in the market, if the prices are falling, but there should be so much positive coming out that there's a lot to come, we've still got a lot of the ecosystem to be built out in Cardano, why is the price falling? Then this is the video for you. So we could see some consolidation between the 150 and $2, which is pretty normal, and that's what you want to see in a project which is building along the way. If you start to break down from some major levels, then that's probably a sign of either A, the bear market's in town, or B, there's something fundamentally wrong with the project, which of course will then lead the prices further down. Now, again, new investing for new people, there's always this need to be right and wrong. You're wrong because the price went down. You're right because it went up and you said it would. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. If you haven't seen something like this, check out Dr. Van Tharp. So this guy helps professional traders and investors, and it's all about the psychology around trading. I'll just briefly mention this because this has helped me in the past, get to become a better trader and investor. The need to always be right. You see this so often. Some people play on it. Others really believe they have to be right. In trading, you can be wrong, lose 50, 60, 70% of the time and still make money and make this a profession. You don't have to be right 70, 80, 90% of the time. We're taught in school to be right more often than we're wrong to get that A or that B. It's absolute nonsense when it comes to trading. You just need to look at how far those moves are going to be in your favor and how small the losses will be in your favor. Let the profits run and cut the losses short. So that's the main thing when it comes to being right and wrong. You don't have to be right or wrong in trading. You just have to be prepared. So ADA, that's what I'm looking for. My preparation is consolidation between $150 and $2. As a long-term investment, I like those levels. The RSI is not something I get out often, but if it's underneath the 50, which is this dotted line here, then in a bull market, you can see on the up, it hasn't been such a bad time to be accumulating under those levels. So if we get a move down and we drop under 50, then that could be a good time for some accumulation. The same is on ADA BTC. So we drop beneath 50 and you could then go away and work this into your plan a little better and adjust these parameters so that maybe instead of it being under 50 as a buy, maybe it's under 45 to give you that closer entry. Now, of course, when you start playing with the parameters, you just got to be aware that it just gets a little more tricky and there are other features that you have to start involving when it comes to your plan. But we'll leave that there for now and just look at a simple the default here of 50. So under 50, we're getting towards that. We're coming close to a previous low. We're just broken down past the 50% level here. And our previous levels of resistance and support were around 1,800 Satoshis and then 3,200. So somewhere in this zone. So as you can see from the next couple of charts as well, we're sort of starting to fall into that zone of a possible, because nothing is guaranteed in trading, a possible accumulation period for a longer term position on ADA rather than buying as the market's running up super, super hot. ADA ETH looking similar. We're coming back to these previous high levels. This is around the 0.0004. So now I've got 399 here, but if you just round it up to a clean number of 4, you got the lows back here in April. We've just broken down the lows in August, and then we had previous highs through 2018. We spiked out above it once, twice, 3 times. So it's a reasonable level there. We fall back under, then this is probably the long-term consolidation area. So the market would probably be under there for a little longer than what you would be hoping for to get those quick, massive gains in the cryptocurrency bull market. Ideally, we want to see the market hold up where we currently are at these levels and then form a base before we start to move higher again. The bullish side is to get above the 50%. That's what we want to see, 0.0006. So a more conservative entry would be to let this play out, do whatever it needs to do. I don't know how long it will be, but then get it back above this 50%, consolidate, that's the buy opportunity, and then up. And that could take weeks or months because I'm on a 2-week chart here. Remember that. Each one of these bars is 2 weeks. So that's the patience required here. ADA dot, similar position, coming back to these previous highs. The RSI underneath the 50 at this point. Maybe when it gets to 45, a better buying opportunity. And you can see these just starting to potentially flatten out or come back to those more attractive levels. ADA dot, ADA ETH, ADA BTC, and then ADA USD is probably the last one here to come back. It's still a little bit high at these points. So that's why I think moving forward, maybe for the next couple of weeks, at least, maybe a couple of months, we would probably see this drop in the ADA price into those levels, scare some people out, drop their bags, and that's how the price is going to keep coming down a little further. Why is this happening? As I started in the intro, why? 3 reasons. Let's brush through these. Some of you may have heard them. So these are still going on because it hasn't been built out yet. 3 reasons. Cardano's new update is good news for hodlers, and 3 reasons it isn't. So easily, it's to do with the Plutus application backend. So we got new utility coming. We need to get those smart contracts actually working with the user interfaces. At the moment, new utility. Maybe we'll get some NFTs, maybe we're going to get some DeFi, maybe we're going to get some more layer 2s, whatever needs to be built on Cardano. That's going to bring us some more money, some more use on the ecosystem, but there's not much to show for it yet. It's because it's not working. That's what's going on. Maybe some people aren't telling you that, but it's not working at the moment. Questions on Plutus application backend and DEX functionality on the Cardano forum. So we can easily see here, does the PAB, Plutus application backend, need to be complete before any DEX will be functional? Or is it possible for a DEX to launch right now without it? So it is possible, but then that DEX is going to have to come up with some code to make it work with the backend. That part is not working just yet. Yes, smart contracts can be loaded, but this is the main thing here. This is the hold up, which is why the price is still down. It will get built out. At least that's what we're speculating on, and we think it will happen. It's, smart contracts have worked before on many other platforms, and that's what ADA is waiting on. This is leading on to the next reason. Entering the DeFi NFT DApp ecosystem, but there's only so much pie to go around. And we'll come back to number 2. But number 3, bullish reason, peer-reviewed innovation. So this is what's slowing it down. So some people on one hand are finding it great because it's all peer-reviewed, it's by academics. On the other hand, it's slowing things down because only certain people can review the smart contract code and then create more and work on the development. So if you only have limited people, it's going to slow things down, and it centralizes development as well. Back to number 2 here, entering the DeFi NFT DApp ecosystem kind of goes in with number 1, and that's what we're waiting to see. And there's plenty of projects that are built, and we just need to get that all working on the smart contracts. So that's 3 of the main reasons. That's what I'm seeing with the price range of ADA on BTC, ETH, USD, and DOT. Can it fall out of the top 10? Yes. So there's a lot of this bad bearish stuff, but I hold ADA. If you're watching this, you probably hold it too, or you're looking to build yourself a position. And this is something that I talked about on the channel months ago and got a little ripped apart for it. I was speaking about smart contracts being delayed. And although it wasn't technically delayed, it's still not being used. So call it delayed, call it not delayed, whatever you want to call it. Just don't offend Charles because he'll come after you. Just jokes. But essentially, it's not... people aren't using it just yet. So Cardano, could it fall out? Yes. Solana can jump it easy. Now, let's look at the price range here. We're at 66 billion, around $2. If we were to fall to that $1.50 like I was talking about and still be in a bullish position, that's back at around, we're Cardano USD, that's back at around these levels here. So on these highs, 150, that would be about a 25% off from where we are. That would equal about a 15 to 16, 17 billion off this price. So as a round number, let's call it 50 billion that it drops to. So it easily dropped to around 7th on the market cap. Could Polkadot overtake it? And this is Cardano staying at 50 billion. Sure. Polkadot just needs to jump to around $52 or $53 and it would overtake it. So that would drop ADA down to number 8. We all know what's going on with Shiba Inu and Dogecoin. The battle of the dog memes, they would have to jump 50%. And they do that in a matter of hours. That would then push ADA down to number 10. Then all it would have to do is to push it out of the top 10. Any of these big platforms just triple from that point. So around 17 billion for Terra, jump it to 34, 51, it goes up 200%. There goes Terra into number 10, drops ADA down. And that could be far-fetched. Maybe ADA would have to move at that point. But you've got plenty of other projects here which are all vying to jump into that top 10 as well. Uniswap's been down for some time. Avalanche, Chainlink's been down. DeFi will be coming back. Polygon, Matic, Algorand. Everyone is calling for these to go up into the top 10 and take those positions for the smart contracts. So could it fall out? Yes. Does it matter? No. These are just standings. You're going to make big money regardless of where it stands on the cryptocurrency market caps. But for new investors, maybe that's going to scare them out of their positions, because if it's not in the top 5, then it's a bad project. This is there are a lot of new people in the space, and this can make them a little scared of their positions. So we've looked at the pricing. We've looked at potential good buy areas. That was my update for ADA. Can it drop out of the top 10? Possibly. I think more realistically, we'll probably see it 6, 7, or 8-ish during this period. And then we got the 3 reasons. We're waiting on these smart contracts to work with the user interfaces of the projects that are building on ADA. When that happens, we're going to get a ton of the NFTs, DeFi, everything else getting built on ADA because it's pretty cheap. Like, share, subscribe, stake your ADA with the Investor Accelerator staking pool. Link to that is down below. Follow my brother's channel. Links are down below as well. I'll see you on Instagram, Twitter, or on Patreon. Again, links are all down below. You'll see all that there. I'll catch you at the next video. Until then, have more fun to get more done.